Happy New Year. We hope you're keeping well and enjoying life despite the challenges that COVID-19 continues to provide.
Are you wondering how best to start the year and make a real difference? I'm not a big fan of New Year's resolutions, but I do like to pause and think about what I'm going to do differently. It's easy to just keep doing what we did last year, but I find that this is often a good time to try something different. I love the quote attributed to Einstein that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Last year, like the year before, was full of disruption, and it's looking like this year won't be that much different. I'm conscious that many of us are probably feeling overwhelmed as we struggle into another year of dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. So, what's something we can do that'll make a real difference, but not add to our overwhelm?
That's a great question, Denise. And while I was relaxing over the summer holidays, I read the book, The One Thing, The Surprisingly Simple Truth Behind Extraordinary Results. The theme of the book is that, well, less is more. Don't try to focus on too many things. Instead, choose the one thing that's going to make the greatest positive difference and focus on that. A key quote from the book says, "Until my one thing is done, everything else is a distraction."
That's a good quote, John. In a previous episode about time management, we mentioned the concept of eating the frog at the beginning of the day. In other words, get your most unpleasant task out of the way first so that everything else is then better. And as Mark Twain said, if there are two frogs, eat the bigger one first.
So, in the spirit of improv, let's say yes and. Let's combine those two ideas by choosing just one thing to focus on and make it the one thing you'd like to least do. Now, just hold on to that thought for a moment.
Okay, holding that thought, John. Now, have you heard of the Pomodoro technique? This is where you decide on a task that needs to be done, set a timer for 25 minutes, and work on that task until the timer rings. Pomodoro is the Italian word for tomato, and apparently the technique gets its name from a tomato-shaped kitchen timer that the creator of the technique, Francesco Carrillo, had on his desk. Anyway, fast forward to the 21st century, and everyone is time poor, and we struggle with limited attention spans. So the original 25 minutes is often reduced to just 15 minutes. Regardless, the idea is to spend a certain length of time focused on just one thing.
15 minutes seems just enough time to get our teeth into something without it seeming overwhelming. You'll be surprised at what you can achieve in that short time span, especially if you need to write something. In that case, you can start by jotting your thoughts down as a mini mind map. You can identify the top level headings, then break them down into second level headings, and maybe make a start on the third level ones. You do what you can in a 15-minute burst and then put it to one side. Later, you might pick it up again and devote another 15 minutes to maybe fleshing out your ideas into sentences and then into paragraphs.
Nice, John. So now let's combine all three ideas together. Choose our one thing, our most unpleasant task, and we spend just 15 minutes making a start. That's what we're suggesting you try this year. It's small and it's realistic.
I'm not sure about you, Denise, but I suffer from what I call blank page syndrome. I really struggle to know where to start when I need to write something. I'm much happier editing something I've already written, or better still, something that someone else has written. I can usually easily see ways to tweak it and make it better. Mark Twain, who we mentioned before, had some really good advice. He said, "The secret of getting ahead is getting started." It's better to make a start and do a little bit every day rather than just thinking about it and never actually getting around to doing it.
So there we go. If you're looking to make a real difference this year and don't want to feel overwhelmed, try this new approach. Choose one thing, your most unpleasant task, and spend just 15 minutes making a start.
And it's actually the process I used to develop this episode. And here's the mind map to prove it. I think you'll be surprised how much of a positive difference it can make to our lives. If we keep choosing the most unpleasant but most worthwhile task, we'll be making headway in no time at all and feeling the positive effects of achieving real progress.
Well, we hope you like this idea. But before you go, let us know your thoughts. How do you approach the new year? Do you like making resolutions? And if so, how do you keep them? Or tell us your secret for dealing with procrastination. Add a comment below the blog post and please share your ideas with us.
We hope you have a great year ahead and we'll look forward to chatting with you again soon. All the best until we meet again.